Tell me what you see in me. Gotta be something different. You must be made for me, patient.
Oh, baby, look at that.
Tell me what you say now. Tell me what you said. You said that you would come again. You said that we would remain friends, but you know that I do not depend on nothing or no one. So
Hey my baby dolls, welcome back to another video. So right now I am about to get ready, and I did not want to get ready without showing you guys my whole full glam. I know you guys been wanting makeup, but the only reason why I have not really been doing tutorials is because I haven't done a makeup tutorial in so long. So I feel like if I was to do a makeup tutorial, of course I would want to come through with something different. What I've been doing haven't been so different, like my routine haven't changed that much, you know. So that's another reason why. And where is my ring, y'all? Hold on. I like to have my jewelry on when I'm doing my makeup. I don't know why, especially because my nails is done. Okay, see, I actually vlogged my nail appointment. That vlog is still going on right now, so you guys will probably see this video first before the vlog. So I just want to say that I love my nails so much. I went to the same place that I went before, and I really love them. They do a great job. I've talked about getting the Gel X, so these are not acrylic, these are Gel X nails, and I just love the scope of them and the length and everything. And actually it's cheaper than acrylic, which is crazy because you would think acrylic will be more because it takes longer time, but this actually stay a full 2 weeks in a couple days. Like, they don't fall off. I know I haven't got any designs in a while. I'll probably get that with my next set, but I've just been loving the basic color. Like, I haven't been really feeling like getting any like designs or anything like that. I've just been enjoying the basic sets and stiletto. And you guys normally don't see me get stiletto. Like, that's the crazy part. I love my square shapes, but I don't know, the Gel X been just doing something for me. I think because Gel X doesn't come with curved nails, they only come with the straight tips, and if I'm gonna get square, I feel like I'm gonna need like a curved nail, and just a long, like just those extra long square nails be looking like sticks. I mean, this may look like sticks to somebody too, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, but it's just something about it being stiletto makes it look a little bit more better. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but that's me. That's my personal opinion. I have already prepped my skin with my skincare. I've done my skincare, I did my serum, so my skin is looking nice and fresh and glowy. Now I'm going to place on my e.l.f. Holy Moisturize, well, Holy Hydration. This is moisturizer. This is not a part of my skincare, but I will say this is a part of the base of my makeup. Girl, I was scared. I thought Spider was over here eating something. She had no business. She's eating her food. That scared me. So, this actually is a great prep for my makeup. It leaves it nice and hydrated. And the foundation of my makeup is just so smooth. Everything glides on so freaking good, y'all. I love it. Next. Ooh, look at that, looks so good. I'm using my Angel Veil. This is something I've talked about on my channel before, and I haven't used this in so long, but I had recently just took a client for makeup, and I know that I used to keep this in my kit all the time, so I had purchased it, I had repurchased it. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't used this in so long, and I know I have a client the next day, so I purchased it for my client. Gotta talk about that too with you guys. And I used it on myself, and I'm just like, oh my god, I miss this so much. This primer is so good. Like, I usually put it in the areas where I normally get oily, which is my T-zone, forehead, and a little bit of the chin area, but it leaves everything like very like modifying. It modifies the skin. I don't know if you guys can see that right here. Like, I still have that glow right here, but in this area it's definitely like smooth. You know, it does say skin perfecting primer on the bottle, so it definitely does that. Okay, so that's it for our base, for our, you know, primers and moisturizers and things like that. Nothing's really have changed with my eyebrows, y'all. I'm just being really honest with this tutorial. And I go back and forth with my NYX micro brow pencil, and I go back and forth with my e.l.f. ultra precise brow pencil. These are the two I kind of like just go back and forth with. As far as my concealer, I'm using the LA Pro Conceal. Y'all know these are like the OG concealers. Some people may still use them, some people may don't. I'm trying to figure out if I want to use my NYX or my e.l.f. I'll just use my e.l.f. for the day. We're gonna stick with the e.l.f. About my client, so I'm actually gonna do this my brow real quick, and then I'm gonna come back and talk to you guys because I want to talk to you guys how my experience was, because I haven't done makeup in so long, so it felt, I don't want to say it felt weird, but let me finish this brow and then I'm gonna come back. Hold on. My brows are done. I am about to fill my lid with some concealer, the same concealer, and let's talk about my experience doing makeup again. It feels real good to be back, and I know I was saying that it feels weird in a way because like, but it doesn't feel weird. Like, I kind of really can't really explain it, but I could. It's like a feeling of like, damn, I am doing faces again, like, you know, like, and it's just not about, and it's just like I'm doing it in a whole nother state, and that right there makes me happy because it's just like I'm taking new clientele and I'm meeting new different people that's not from Chicago, like, you know. The client that I had that I took, she's actually from New York. I think she moved from New York. I think that's where she's from. I know she moved from New York. I don't know if that's where she's from. I don't remember, but she moved from New York, and we were just having great conversation. And I love to take clients that has great conversation. Or if you don't want to talk, we don't have to talk at all. Like, I'm not really a talkative person where I feel like I have to make conversation. Sometimes it's just best to like be quiet and not really talk too much, because I don't know, it just seems more peaceful sometimes. And I'm always like playing music. I play music while I'm doing my makeup so that it don't seem like socially weird or socially awkward, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people feel like when it's quiet it can be awkward. I'm using my Black Radiance. This is pressed powder, and I'm using it for my transition. This is in the shade Cafe. So I've been using this for my contour and like bronzer or whatever, and it works really good. It's definitely a natural shade for me. Like, so if you don't want nothing too harsh, you just want a nice light contour or just bronzing your skin, I would definitely recommend using, I always talk about this, like, you don't have to use a actual contour palette. You can use a pressed powder, you can use a bronzer. You know, like, usually I'm always using bronzers. I normally don't use an actual contour palette to contour with. I don't know, it just glides on better to me, and it melts in the skin better. It always has. So you can use my technique if you want. Tell me how you like it, or if you already have, then let me know. But that's what I do. And another thing that I've been doing recently is taking that transition shade, and usually my transition shades are my contour bronzer shades. I like to take it down my nose because that's where I'm going to be using it for contour. So this is something new that I do. I just take it down the nose and back up the eye. So you can see the dimension already, what it's given. And then when it's time for me to contour, it's not really that much to do. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So you can already kind of see where the contour is kind of going. I recently just posted up a new TikTok. So I'm trying to get myself more into making my TikTok videos, like really showcasing what I do on here on my other platforms like Instagram and TikTok, because it's like I feel like a lot of people are, I've talked about this before in my vlog, I feel like a lot of people are definitely on other sites now, especially TikTok. Like, I don't know how really to explain it. A lot of the attention is getting on TikTok, and not saying that YouTube is like slowing down or anything like that, but I do feel like TikTok has definitely taken over in a certain way. Like, people are liking the shorter vlogs, like the little mini videos on Instagram Reels and TikTok. So I don't know, maybe it's just me that feels that way, but I definitely have seen the difference. For my next shade, I'm taking this Wet n Wild. Y'all know I love my drugstore products. Nothing has changed with me. I'll always invest in higher end makeup, but drugstore will always be my go-to girl, okay? But I'm using this Wet n Wild, and Wet n Wild has really good eyeshadows. If y'all don't know, you need it. So I'm using this shade right here out of this palette. Something about white palettes like this always make it look like play makeup, like a little kid palette, you know? Like, I don't know, it makes it look cheap. I mean, it is a cheap palette because it's a drugstore brand, but you get what I'm saying. I don't know. So I'm just taking this in the corner, and this is almost damn near the same shade as the transition shade I put. Just a little bit. For my Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm taking this really dark brown right into the crease only, because it's such a deep shade. Okay, it almost damn near look black, but it's a really dark brown, but it's not black. And you want to make sure you keep going back and forth with that last shade you took and just buffing it out together.
Tell me what you say now. Tell me what you said. You said that you would come again. You said that we would remain friends, but you know that I do not depend on nothing or no one. So why would you show up so uninvited? Then just change my mind like that. Please don't take this personally.
And on top of this, going back in with the Wet n Wild, I'm gonna take, it's like a rose gold shimmer shade, and I'm taking that on the lid.
I just can't keep running away. But I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. But I want you. I don't mean to. I don't mean to. I don't mean to. I don't mean to. But
so these are the lashes. These are some lashes that I doubled. I don't remember the brand or what I used, but these are 2 doubled lashes, if you guys are wondering. So yes, I still double my lashes. Yeah, I seen some trend on TikTok where people were showing how you can make your lashes look like the mink extensions, and they doubled 2 pair of lashes together, and I'm just like, baby, I've been doing it. This is nothing new. anyway, now as far as foundation, I've been using, my go-to foundation has been the Maybelline Fit Me. I usually use my Tarte foundation. I'll use my NARS foundation, but like on an everyday basis, which I've been normally seeing me in, is this Maybelline Fit Me. Or I'll use the Maybelline Super Stay. This, you know, this is the newest version, but this is like the OG. And I got it upside down because I'm running out. And this is in the shade 340 Cappuccino. I'm also in another shade too that fits me. I don't remember right now, but this is the shade I'm using today. And I'll hardly have any left, so we gotta work with what we got. So before I do this, another thing I've been doing is using my concealer first under the eye. And I'm using the LA Pro, but this one is in the shade Fawn. So I place this one under my eye, and I blend this out first. this shade is very close to my skin shade, so I feel like it's just, you know, that extra coverage. So when it's time for me to put on my foundation, I don't have to put too much foundation under the eye. I feel like it just gives the whole foundation, the whole look of the makeup, a more smoother look, and it's not cakey.
Everybody's like, he's no item. Please don't like him. He don't wife him. He one item. I never listen, no. I should have figured though. All that shit you was spitting so unoriginal. But it was you, so I was with it. Then to tell you the truth.
And then also you guys can still see that contour, and we're gonna blend that out. My nose contour. You guys can pretty much still see that too as well. And then now we're gonna place on the foundation, y'all. Y'all, the ice cream truck still be running, and it sounds so damn funny because it's December and I hear the ice cream truck. So I normally just put it around, so I stay away from under my eye. I kind of just place it underneath the foundation underneath. And I realized that I'm using less foundation when I do this. I'm not using as much foundation. I probably put a lot on right here, but usually I put on less than this, so I think I kind of went a little too far than you.
Just change my mind like that.
I may go up a little bit, but not too much. We're gonna leave it there. Then I go back in with the Cool Tan shade by LA Pro. This is definitely like a budget type of makeup tutorial if you are on a budget and you still want to have your makeup looking like real good, but you are on a budget with like buying makeup. This is definitely a budget friendly tutorial. I'm just now really noticing that. And if you don't know, Target does have LA Pro in their store now. I think it's for like $3-4, which is crazy because when it used to be, well, it's still at the beauty supply store, but it used to be in the beauty supply store only $1 when it first came out. And I remember using that when I was in high school, y'all, because I was only doing my eyebrows. I wasn't wearing foundation, hardly any eyeshadow. I was really just doing eyelashes and eyebrows. Like, brows had to be done, okay? Brows had to be done. If nothing else was done, the brows had to be done. So look at that. So it just looks so much more smoother. I don't know. And then for a brighter under eye, and another thing I've been seeing on TikTok is like doing the bright under eye look. And if you know, you know, your girl been doing the bright under eye for years. Like, I've always used a concealer that was closer to me, and then the last concealer was like a concealer that was 2 shades lighter than me. And I've been seeing this on TikTok, and I'm just like, all of these trends that people are making, and it's just like, I've been doing it, which is so crazy, but hey, whatever. Anywho, I'm taking the my little brush right here, and I'm just making sure that this is blended. We still got that contour going on right here, so I just take that concealer and I just bring it down, and we're gonna go back in and really sculpt the nose out, but we have the concealer there. Okay, I'm using the Tarte for a brighter under eye, and just a little bit of this. This is not the lightest I've used. I usually use something a little bit lighter than this concealer. That's a little lighter than this. Put some on the nose a little bit too, and I'm just gonna blend that out. I'm not using too much of that. But yeah, I just thought that was just so interesting. If you guys been seeing it, then let me know if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's been all on TikTok. Alrighty, same. So I'm gonna set this now. The powder that I was using before was, I think it was the Tarte. Was it the Tarte powder? And y'all know how I feel about powders. I've talked about that so many times on my channel. And I left it in Chicago in my storage unit. I have so much stuff that's still in my storage in Chicago. And yeah, I left that behind, and I was using that powder. So that was something that I was using, but you know, it's always this powder if it's nothing else. The Maybelline Fit Me powder is always going to be that for me. And I don't normally bake. I kind of just sweep up the powder as soon as I put it on. And then while the powder is on my nose, I go in and just start to contour that. Go back in. And you don't have to go in with too much of that contour because you have just already put contour right here. So you kind of just want to take a little bit, go in with a little bit, and just make sure everything is just blended. While keeping that powder there.
Everybody's like he's no item. Please don't like him. He don't wife him. He one item. I never listen, no. I should have figured though. All that shit you was spitting so unoriginal.
Period. Okay, and then I go in with my, I don't do black eyeliner underneath the eye. I always take like a dark brown.
Be forgetting you live in a different time zone. Think I know what this is, just the time's wrong. Yeah, I know what you did, but baby, I'm grown. And my love is...
Alright, y'all, we gotta contour. Same palette, and I'm gonna show you guys the next palette. Sometimes I don't go in. Usually I just take this if I want a soft contour, and then if I want something deeper, then I go in with something else. But I just like how soft this contour is. You see that, y'all? It's just so soft. I don't have to do much. Oh, look at this. I just broke it real bad. So these 3 contours shades are gone. This is the Morphe palette, and now I'm just left with these 2 shades. So I'm gonna go in with this one just to deepen it up. And I only need a little bit of this because this stuff is really pigment. I go in with my powder. Okay, I normally don't do this, but I've been doing this lately, and I took too much. I don't like to take too much because, yeah, I don't like to take too much. And I like to take a thin layer because once you put on so much, it's kind of hard to blend out, and then you left with a line underneath your contour. Okay, so I like to put a very thin line there. And then I let that sit while I do my blush. I've been recently using this blush right here, y'all. So freaking bomb, by Wet n Wild Mellow Wine. I just purchased this, and I was kind of scared because I'm like, it looks very light and very ashy. But I took a chance on it, and I'm very obsessed with it. It melts in my skin. It looks so pretty on my skin. It just goes perfect with me. So something that I do. Oh, it's just so cute. So what I've been doing, which is such a good tip if you want your lip liner or your lips to look plump all night. Okay, so this is what I do. Pay attention. Take an old dusty contour palette, and I take a angled brush, and I'm gonna take this shade. I usually take the shade that's right here, but you know it's gone. It's just my whole palette just broke apart. So I'm using this one here, and I'm going to line my lips. I'm going to use this as a lip liner. Okay, optional. You do not have to do this, but trust me, just try it. Just try it. Since I've done this, one day I ran out of lip liner, and I'm like, what can be my alternative? So I did this, and ever since then I'm like, I can't go back. So sometimes this is what I do. And it's so easy. Just take an angled brush on your lips. Look how pretty that is. Like, it's so freaking pretty, and it stays on all day. Y'all know that contour shades, a contour shade is very consistent. I think it's more consistent than an eyeshadow, like just the consistency of it, you know. So imagine you doing it on your lips. Like, you want that to be on all day, and literally all I have to do is just touch up my lip gloss. I never have to touch up my lip liner throughout the day. So I'm using my NYX Lingerie in the shade Shy. This is the gloss version. They do have a matte version in this. So use a little bit of this. Look how pretty that is. So cute. And then on top of that, I put on my MAC Dazzle Glass. I'm almost running out, y'all. This shit is so freaking pretty. And this is in the shade, yeah, it's in the shade Dazzle Glass. The lip gloss is called Dress to Dazzle by MAC. Oops. And then we're going to just go ahead and just make sure we blend that out. Look at how full, baby, look at that. And I know I did not use anything to set the remaining of my face. I know you guys are pretty much used to that. I usually use something to set the remaining of my face, but I haven't. I haven't been doing it lately. I kind of like stopped doing that in my makeup. Everything seemed like it's set pretty good, so I stopped doing that. So that's something that I stopped doing. And I haven't been really spraying my face with setting powder. I've got this Morphe setting powder, and I have the matte NYX. These are two of my favorite powders. I mean, two of my favorite sprays to set with. This is good for if you feel like your face looks very powdery. This kind of blends everything down and tone all of the powder down. And this locks your makeup down. Like, this been out for a very long time, but it will always be something that I will keep in my makeup kit, just in my makeup drawer, period. They do have a dewy version, but the matte, so good, so freaking good. It locks it down all day. I still use my MAC Flare for Dramatic highlight by MAC. This is like my ultimate fave. I'm not really a huge highlight girl, but if I'm going to use some highlight, it's going to be this. It works really good for brown girls, any skin shade. I've definitely used it on my client that I just had, and it looks so pretty on her. And she, before when I opened it, she was like, oh my god, that's really some really cute highlighter. And I'm just like, yeah, gotta get it. Like, it's really good. I always recommend everyone to get this highlight because it works on everyone, especially us brown girls. Okay, I know sometimes we struggle with finding highlight for our skin because some highlight can look ashy, and I hate that. I hate it. This is the best highlight I've ever had bought personally on me. Okay, so for my highlight, I'm taking it on my nose, a little bit here, the chin. I love taking my highlight on my forehead. It doesn't make me look greasy or like oily. It just makes everything, I don't know, it's just so pretty. I'm going to take a little bit down the bridge of my nose. I don't really go all the way down my nose. I kind of just go right in the middle. A little bit in my tear duct. And I haven't been really doing it too much here, but I'll put a little bit on today for y'all, okay? For the video. Look how pretty that is on our skin. Yeah. But other than that, this is really what I've been doing lately. Like little things, like small things have changed. Nothing really traumatic have changed with my makeup. So I'm glad that I, you know, sat here and really did a tutorial for y'all, because this was fun. I haven't really sat down and did a makeup tutorial in a while, so it felt good to do something I haven't done in so long. And I hope you guys don't beat me up for this, because nothing really huge have changed, but I do have little small little techniques that I've, you know, tried doing along the way, and I've been liking it, and it's just been stuck with me. So I hope y'all really love this video. And the little girl chat, we had a little, and all that good stuff. But yeah, if you guys have any questions on what I used or anything, and I thank you guys for watching my last video, my girl talk video. I truly enjoyed that video. That was really an amazing video. Y'all had some really good questions that you guys never asked me before, and when I say I enjoyed it, I really enjoyed it. Like, that was a good video. If you haven't watched the video, then make sure you do. I feel like a lot of people are slowly getting into the video, and some people haven't watched it yet, so make sure y'all watch it. I posted that video like, what, 5 days ago? So just click on the video, just go ahead and watch it. It's a great inspiration video. Little do you guys know, I may inspire you, but you guys really inspire me, to be honest with you. Like, I just love y'all support. Y'all support runs super deep, and I just want to say I thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for watching this video. I love y'all so much, and everything I use will be listed down below. And this hair is old. I'll have the link in the bio for the hair too as well, because you guys may ask me, okay? So I love you, baby dolls, so much, and I'll see you, baby dolls, in my next video.
You got it, girl.